How did I get from stage 4 cancer to full remission? In this video, I'm going to give you some tips on how I got there and that they may help you. I implemented 3 holistic traits to get me there. The mind, body, spirit connection. I'm going to go through each one individually, and that will hopefully help you in your battle to overcome whatever particular cancer you have. They're all different, I know that, and my treatments will have been different to yours. So what I do is not necessarily a complete guideline. I'm not a medical specialist, so don't take what I say as gospel. You have to do your own research. But I did it. I got from stage 4 to full remission. I want to share with you some of the outlying points of what I did to achieve my full remission. So, the holistic approach, mind, body, spirit. Firstly, with this holistic approach, I found for myself, obviously the most important thing first, after getting over the initial shock, was being able to advocate for myself. That means being able to take full control of what I wanted to do and felt I needed to do to get better. That wasn't easy, that was hard. It's not made easy for you, but sometimes we still need to take control. That doesn't mean having to do it on your own. You know, you can employ friends, you can employ loved ones, relatives. There's organisations that can help you advocate. I'm going to say too, sorry I'm wearing sunnies, but it's really bright out here. It's a hot Queensland summer, it's a hot Queensland day. I mean, summer hasn't even really kicked in properly yet. And we're going to hit 32 degrees today. I think it's about 28 at the moment. But you can probably see behind me, it's super dry. It's super hot. And sorry about the sunnies. I know people like eye contact, but it's too bright. I mean, I can take them off, but it's too bright. So they're going on. When I was first diagnosed, I didn't know what to do. I had no idea what to do. I just thought cancer, death sentence. I've mentioned in previous videos, parents died of cancer, both of them. So you think the worst. Having said that, I was put on to a couple of books that I would recommend reading. I'll go into that more depth in a future video, but I was put on to a couple of books. One by a lady I didn't know, and one by a good friend of mine in England. These books opened the doorway for me to realise that there's more than one way to beat cancer. Now, the mainstream approach is important. I did chemotherapy, and that also involved a drug which was an immunotherapy drug. For anyone who's interested, my chemotherapy drug was bendamustine. My immunotherapy drug was rituximab. Now, I have mantle cell lymphoma, and it's going to be different drugs for different cancers, different treatments for different cancers. And that's the way it works. But I didn't just do the Western thing. Like I said, I took a holistic approach. I also implemented natural therapies. And when I say that, not just in a way that, oh yeah, I read this on Facebook, it must be a good idea. No, I'm talking about natural therapies that have scientific-based research behind them and are implemented by people who know what they're talking about, as in medically trained people. So I work with, obviously, my specialist at the hospital for the mainstream Western side medicine. And I also work with a group called Cancer Active, who help you build programs around your treatment. I recommend you look them up. I'm going to talk more about that in a future video, but I'm just mentioning it here. I work with a naturopath who's medically trained, who used to be a chemo nurse, who understands that side of medicine. So that's a good link. Now, I didn't do the mainstream chemo straight away. That came later. I decided on a more natural treatment first, which worked for about 1.5 years. I didn't die. I didn't die within a year like I was told I would. I actually lasted 1.5 years, and I kept this cancer stable, which surprised everyone, probably including myself. But it works. The problem was I couldn't push it back. And that's why I then brought in the Western treatments of chemo and immunotherapy, and then with the natural therapies built around that, it worked. But you have to treat the natural therapies like the chemo. Every cancer has a different chemo drug or a different treatment. Not everyone has chemo. It could be a different treatment, but it's recommended for your particular cancer. The dosages are recommended, everything, you know, they go on body weight, what cancer, everything. So it is very tailored to you. And with the natural therapies, it has to be the same way. It has to be tailored to you. You can't just look something up and go, oh yeah, this worked for this person, I'll just do exactly the same, take the same thing. It doesn't work like that. There is no silver bullet for cancer. If there was one treatment from whatever background that was guaranteed to work, we'd all do it. We do it. We go, oh, we got cancer, this treatment's 100% guaranteed, we'll do it, good, we get over it. But that's not the case. There's no silver bullet. That goes for Western medicine, alternative medicine, natural therapies, a lot. So you have to incorporate everything together. And if you can get it right, you can get into full remission, which is what I did. Oh, I think I'm getting dizzy. I'm going to turn around and go the other way. Going around in circles. It's like, okay. So you've got to get it right. So my natural therapies was tailored to me. And they had to be able to work, especially once I started chemo and immunotherapy, they had to be able to work with those drugs. There could be no contraindicators. And by that I mean, you can't take something that's going to make your chemo less effective or not work at all. And they tell you that at the hospital. They say the things you can't take. So when I was on chemo, I couldn't take vitamin C because it wasn't going to work. I had been taking it, high doses of it, and that had helped. But once I started chemo, I couldn't take it because there's a contraindicator and it would affect the chemo. So I couldn't do it. But I didn't know that. I found that out. One, by my specialists who told me, but also people I work with who know about this stuff, who also said, no, they're right, you can't take it, so don't. So I didn't. But I took other things. I took things that helped with the chemotherapy, that helped the chemo to be more effective. And what I mean by that is it helped the chemo to target the cancer cells more effectively, to open up the cancer cells so they were taking more of the chemo to help kill them off, but also stuff that protected my healthy cells, because cancer cells work differently to healthy cells. So amazingly, your body, if you can get it right, can tell the difference between the two. That's a big thing. I mean, obviously, if it's working properly, you don't get cancer in the first place. But once you do, you've got to try and build your body to a point where it can actually help itself as well, which is what I tried to do. But it was a lot of bloody hard work. A lot of hard work, a lot of physical work, a lot of talking to very smart people who work in the cancer field in one form or another, who could guide me, who could help me. You know, and in an ideal world, we'd all be able to go to a holistic cancer centre and get this treatment where different therapies are combined that complement each other and help each other work better. That'd be ideal. More people would survive. I believe that anyway. Now, moving on from the body part is the mind part. The mind is supremely important with this. You have to be in control of your mind, not the other way around. You can almost see the mind as being this sort of existential other part of you that actually almost wants to take over. It's almost like you've got to split yourself. There's you, and then there's this mind. This mind that really is a supercomputer, but it needs to be programmed. And you need to program it. It's your supercomputer. Only you can access it. You program it. Don't let other people in. Don't let other people hack it. Don't let other people program it. You program it. Because this is what happens. People hack your supercomputer. People hack your brain and they program it. And what I mean by that is you get all the people who go, do this or don't do this. Oh, you're going to die or you're going to live. If you do it my way, you'll live. If you don't, you'll die. You've got no chance. You know, you're doomed. All of this. You know, and that's not just cancer. It happens with everything in life. People hack your brain and stuff it up. So don't let them. You take control of your own brain. But also you can stuff your brain up. I mean, when I was diagnosed with cancer, at first I fell into a pit of despair. And I actually had to pull myself out of it. Because if you get into that despair and you linger in it, you're in trouble. It drags you down. It's really not good. And you have to fight it. You have to get this right. This is probably almost the most important thing that's going to save your life. This is the thing that's going to help you advocate for yourself. This is the part of you that's going to help you decide which is the right treatment to do. What should I do? Is this right? Are they telling me what's right? Should I do research? Should I ask more questions? And yes, you should. You should do research. You should ask more questions. You should get yourself right, and you've got to give yourself the best chance, the best fighting chance to beat this awful disease. So get your mind right. Now for me, that involved reading a lot of books, that involved a lot of support from family and friends, and that also involved going to a therapist. Go to a therapist. If it helps you to get this right, go to a therapist. Get help in whatever form you can, because if you can get your brain right, you can help yourself beat cancer. You really can. Now, the other part of the brain scenario, so a lot of new research coming out from some of the top psychologists and psychiatrists around the world who've been working with some of the top oncologists. There's a lot of research to show now that this thing, this old grey matter up here, this brain of ours, this mind of ours, can affect our cells. So if you say, my cells are doomed, I'm sick, I can't get better, I'm going to die, then that's what you're telling your cells, and that's what they will do. They will react to that. But if you can tell your cells, which once I learned this, I started to implement it. Every day I would say to my body, you are getting better, you are getting healthy, you are winning this battle. And I would say to my cells, you are healthy, you are good, you are not cancerous, you are healthy cells. Now this leads me into the spiritual, because when I meditated, I would go into very, very, very deep meditations where I would visualize the cellular structure of my body, and I would visualize it healing. I would visualize the cancer cells dying off and leaving. I would visualize the healthy cells growing. I would visualize the healthy cells removing the cancer cells from my body. So spirituality is important. Belief's important. I don't have the research on hand because I'm walking in a park in the hot sun, but there's research to show that people who have a belief in something, turning around again, people who have a belief live longer. I'll dig it out in a future video because I don't, like I said, I don't have it in hand at the moment. I think it's something like 30% or 32% or whatever of people who have a belief live longer with cancer. So there's got to be something in it. I mean, I say this, I don't know how they do these studies. They obviously do them over years and years and years, and they obviously have to follow different groups of people So kudos to the people who implement these studies in the first place and follow them through, because a lot of hard work. It's probably quite sad a lot of the time because people would die while you're doing that research. But the research is there. The same with meditation. There's research to show that people who meditate on a regular basis, who have cancer, live longer than those who don't. So when I found all this out, when I looked all this up, I mean, I've been meditating for donkey's years anyway, on and off. But when I found this out, I implemented it even more. Now you can go on streaming apps and you will find meditation. You'll find it. You'll find meditational music. You'll find healing music. You'll find directed meditations where people talk you into a meditation. You'll find meditations on how to help you heal your body. So if that's your thing, I would do it. I would absolutely do it. And if it's not your thing, look at it this way. What have you got to lose? What have you got to lose? That's the way I look with a lot of these things. What have I got to lose? I've got a death sentence. I've got cancer. I've got stage 4. They said I'm going to die. So what have I got to lose? Just try it. Well, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. You know, it's not going to make me any worse. Well, I mean, there's probably some substances you could take that would make you worse, and I don't recommend doing that. But in terms of meditation and spirituality, it's not going to make you worse. So if it doesn't change anything, well, you're still where you're at. But at least you gave it a go. But if it does change something, and you do improve, well, then you're on to a winner. So just try. You know, join a meditation group. Join a cancer group that implements meditation. You know, there's yoga for cancer patients, and some of that is meditational yoga. You know, look it up in your area, see if you can do it. And that leads me on to exercise. That's another massively important thing, because exercise helps to stimulate your NK cells, your natural killer cells. Now, I know a lot of them can be knocked out by cancer, but if you can do some form of exercise, and I did, not a lot, when I was really sick, when I was down to 57 kilos, you know, and I was weak, I couldn't lift really heavy weights, but I could lift small weights, so I did. Every morning, after breakfast, I just used to do a small weights routine, do some push-ups against the front door. So stand-ups, I did stand-ups, what a push-up, you know what I mean? Because I couldn't actually do it on the floor, I was weak. But I was working my body as much as I could. After my evening meal, I used to go for a 15-20 minute walk with my wife. And that also helps with the whole blood sugar aspect. Now the blood sugar thing, sugar, glucose, this all has an effect on cancer. I'm not going to get into that in this video, that's a future video, because there are so many twos and backs and fours and fro's and people who have their opinions on the great sugar debate with cancer. That's the title for a new video, the great cancer and the great sugar debate. Future video, not this one, but subscribe to my channel, keep tuned to it, and it will pop up. All these things are important. Mind, body, spirit. Work on all 3 of those. Mind, body, spirit. It's important. I'm going to wrap it up there. Thank you for listening. Thank you for coming back and watching me again. If you're new to the channel, my name's John. I went from stage 4 cancer to full remission. Took me just over 2 years, but I did it. In fact, by the end of this month, come October the 30th, I'll have been in full remission for a year. That's 1 year of full remission of an incurable cancer. Hasn't come back. I'm not planning on it coming back. I keep working on those 3 aspects, mind, body, spirit. In my next video, if you're interested, I'm going to talk to you about how I managed to overcome neuropathy while going through chemo, and how I actually didn't suffer from neuropathy at all. And I'll tell you how I did that and what I took to stop that happening. But that's in the next video, neuropathy and cancer. That's this one, that's done. Please, if you want to see more, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Always happy if you can like the video too. That just helps me out. I'm a normal bloke, vlogging about cancer, or vlogging in this case, about my cancer journey. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Be love. Every second counts. I'm going to enjoy the sunshine a bit more. See you later. Bye.